Good afternoon, class. Mrs. Miller here. I am ready to read to you a chapter of Winn-Dixie. I am currently in my son's room where we do lots of reading. I am going to get comfortable, just read to you a chapter or two. I want to read for about 8 to 9 minutes. And also, you might have a surprise guest from my own puppy, Raleigh. He is a German Shepherd, and I'll whistle for him and see if he comes here. Raleigh. So I'll wait to see if he comes, and here we go. Chapter where we left off. I don't know. Let me see. This is chapter 14 of Because of Winn-Dixie. Sometimes I told Gloria the story Miss Franny Block had just told me. Or I imitated Otis tapping his pointed toed boots and playing for all the animals, and that always made her laugh. And sometimes I made up a story, and Gloria Dump would listen to it all the way through from the beginning to end. She told me she used to love to read stories, but she couldn't anymore because her eyes were so bad. Can't you get some really strong glasses? I asked her. Child, she said, they don't make glasses strong enough for these eyes. One day when the storytelling was done, I decided to tell Gloria and Otis, that Otis was a criminal. I thought maybe I should tell an adult about it, and Gloria was the best adult I knew. Gloria, I said. She said back. You know Otis. I don't know him, but I know what you tell me about him. Well, he's a criminal. He's been in jail. Do you think I should be afraid of him? For what? I don't know, for doing bad things, I guess, for being in jail. Child, said Gloria, let me show you something. She got up out of her chair real slow and took hold of my arm. Let's the two of us walk all the way back to the end of this yard. Okay, I said. We walked, and Winn-Dixie followed right behind us. It was a huge yard, and I had never been all the way back in it. When we got to a big old tree, we stopped. Look at this tree, Gloria said. I looked up. There were bottles hanging from just about every branch. There were whiskey bottles and beer bottles and wine bottles all tied on with string. And some of them were clanking against each other and making a spooky kind of noise. Me and Winn-Dixie stood and stared at the tree, and the hair on top of his head rose up a little bit, and he growled deep in his throat. Gloria Dump pointed her cane at the tree. What you think about this tree? I said, I don't know. Why are all those bottles up on it? To keep the ghosts away, Gloria said. What ghosts? The ghosts of all the things I'd done wrong. I looked at all the bottles on the tree. You did that many things wrong? I asked her. Said Gloria. More than that. But you're the nicest person I know, I told her. Don't mean I haven't done bad things, she said. There's whiskey bottles on there, I told her, and beer bottles. Child, said Gloria Dump. I know that. I'm the one who put 'em there. I'm the one that drank 'em up. My mama drank, I whispered. I know it, said Gloria Dump. The preacher says that sometimes she couldn't stop drinking. Said Gloria again. That's the way it is for some folks. We got started and we couldn't get stopped. Are you one of those people? Yes, ma'am, I am. But these days, I don't drink nothing stronger than coffee. Did the whiskey and beer and wine, did they make you do bad things that are ghosts now? Some of them, said Gloria Dump. Some of them I would have done anyway, with alcohol or without it, before I learned. Learned what? Learned what is the most important thing. What's that? I asked her. It's different for everyone, she said. You find out on your own. But in the meantime, you got to remember, You can't always judge people by things they've done. You got to judge them by what they are doing now. You judge Otis by the pretty music he plays and how kind he is to all them animals, because that's all you know about him right now. All right. Yes, ma'am, I said. And them Dewberry boys, you try not to judge them too harsh either, okay? All right, I said. Well, all right then, said Gloria Dump, and she turned and started walking away. Winn-Dixie nudged me with his wet nose and wagged his tail. When he saw I wasn't going, he trotted after Gloria. I stayed where I was and studied the tree. I wondered if my mama, wherever she was, had a tree full of bottles, and I wondered if I was a ghost to her, the same way she sometimes seemed like a ghost to me. That is the end of chapter 14. So I'm just going to pause for a second and talk to my third graders about this chapter. It was full of mature content. It talked about whiskey and beer. These are examples of alcohol. Alcohol is a drink that you can have when you're over the age of 21. When you're over the age of 21, that's the legal age by law that you can drink alcohol. Now, as Christians and as believers of God's words, your family might have some conversations about alcohol, and every family might have different ideas. But what I want to make sure that you know is that alcohol is a substance that does tend to what is called impair, which means might change. It might stop or block or stop how you're thinking or change the way you're acting. And it does have a change or an effect on you. So if you are feeling like this is the first time you've ever heard or talked about alcohol, feel free to express those thoughts and questions to your family. And if this is something that you'd like to continue a conversation with any of the teachers at Clinton, know that it's a safe place and teachers love you enough to talk to you about this. But in the book, in the reasons, Mrs. Gloria Dump has a great lesson to teach our narrator. She is teaching her, this young child, that not everything is what you see. The way that people make mistakes, sometimes it doesn't show on their face or their body. But Gloria Dump is asking our narrator to think what is most important and how should she or how should you judge somebody or think of somebody based on the moment that you're in, based on what you know to be true in that moment. So this is a challenging chapter. This is a good conversation for us to have. This is not something that is too adult-like or too mature for you to talk about. Some of the things that you might be thinking right now is why? Why did Gloria Dump make those decisions? Why did Otis make those decisions, or what got him into jail? Maybe you're wondering why Opal's mom even left in the first place, or why they started drinking, or why it was so hard for them to stop. All of these are great thoughts, and I'm really proud of you if you are somebody who is thinking about your reading. So stay tuned because I'll make another video for chapter 15.